This is a video. This is one hell of a freaking video. Let's get into it. I feel that this video is really putting a close to a big chapter of my life, and I feel like this one's just gonna be raw and authentic and vulnerable, and it's really just been on my mind. Like, we're in Phoenix, Arizona right now. We sat down to film like reels and stuff, and like my mind and my heart are really just going to talking about this and making this video today, because I feel like I'm shedding off a massive part of my identity that I have put myself into for the last, 3+ years. There's a moment specifically where I got off stage after that Galveston show in October of 2020, October 17th, 2020 was the exact date, I believe, or is the 27th. And I said, I gotta grow. Like, I gotta go pro, I gotta grow. And it was in that decision that I decided that I wanted to go the NPC path. I wanted to become a pro. I wanted to go to the performance enhancing side of things and really push my physique to a level that was at that time almost unimaginable. And since that last prep, I've most definitely accomplished a hell of a lot in terms of growth, in terms of this journey, in terms of getting to a point realistically where I feel pretty close to being a pro. I would say 1 to 2 years away, I could give myself another run and really be there. But literally this past weekend, I was home alone. Carolina was in San Diego, and I was sick. Mind you, I've gotten sick probably every couple weeks since the end of that show in December. I kind of felt sickness coming towards that show, and I felt like adrenaline towards the prep and the show day kept me going. But once it all came to an end, I got hit like a fucking shit ton of bricks. Since that, any time training has gotten to a point where I'm like close to overreaching, it's really hard. My immunity has just been weak, and I've gotten sick. And so I was sitting there, and I just started crying because I was ultimately just so fed up with how I was feeling. Mind you, I at that point this weekend was 8 weeks into my cycle. And just to be fully transparent with you, I was running 300 milligrams of test, 500 milligrams of primo, and that was pretty much approaching my peak dosage of this push phase and this growth phase. On top of that, I was in a calorie surplus, just no appetite at all. For me personally, when the drugs go up, my appetite just fucking plummets. Sleep wasn't good. My energy throughout the day, I just felt sluggish. I just felt like a big aversion to food. And you kind of understand that, like, putting on muscle at a super physiological pace, for somebody that's been training 6+ years and eating that much calories and running that much farm, it's really stressful on the body. Like, your body is working every single day to keep up with itself in terms of how fast I'm progressing in the gym. And to be honest with you, last year was the hardest years of my life. You know, last year I almost ended up out of my relationship. I had an ultimatum in my relationship to say, hey, if I, for lack of a better term, don't get my shit together, this can't continue. She just wouldn't accept being treated the way she was. It's because I was treating myself in a way that was just irresponsible and just not in congruence really with how I want to treat myself. I was really disconnected with myself. And so on top of that, you know, we have a massive vision for Beyond Built and what we want to grow with that, and that even adds its stressors. So I've been dealing with a lot of outside stressors as well as physiological stressors, and I just got to a point kind of this last weekend where I ultimately just had enough. Like, I wasn't feeling good. I wasn't feeling good in my body, and I got into fitness to feel good in my body, to feel good about myself, to feel confident, not only in the way I looked, but how I performed, how I felt. Being an athlete like my whole life, I was so driven by the way I performed and how athletic I was. I was never the strongest, I was never the biggest, I was never the best skilled player, but I was definitely amongst one of the most athletic on my teams all throughout my years, even through high school. And that's something I took a lot of pride in, because I felt really fucking good. And I was just left in that situation this last week, and I'm like, I don't feel good in my body. It's affecting my mood. It's affecting how I feel mentally. It's affecting how I feel emotionally. And I want to be able to show up the best I can in my relationship. I want to be able to show up the best I can as a business owner. I want to be able to show up the best that I can for you guys on this platform. And I want to show up the best I can to build this dream, build this vision. And to be honest, like, bodybuilding was something that was just taking my energy away. And I had to look at it. I'm like, okay, what's the cost here? Like, what is the cost of continuing to run this much gear, push myself into bodybuilding and gain this amount of size, if it's really just taken away from how I feel in my own body, my health? And I'm wanting to set an example, most importantly for myself, to have health, to have sustainability, to have longevity. And in December of 2021, December 2021, I had blood work back. My CRP was at 9. CRP is a marker of basically bodily inflammation. Inflammation in the body was super high. Blood pressure was like 160 over 64. Just wasn't good. On top of that, I had a panic attack that month. Like, that's where a lot of a really, really hard year for me started. And mind you, through prep, my blood work was good. I was feeling good, and I'm at a point now to where my blood work really isn't the best. Like, my cholesterol's pretty low, my estrogen's pretty shot and pretty tanked. And I'm like, okay, if I'm going to continue this pursuit of bodybuilding to go to a stage, and I'm dealing with blood work that is pretty much almost inevitable to have its moments where it's not the best pushing PEDs, what service does that actually provide the life I want to live, what I want to create, and the man I want to become? I'm so clear on the man that I want to be. Is playful, is energetic, is joyous, is around for a long time, just having fucking fun. And to be honest, I'm not having fun with bodybuilding anymore. When I made that decision back in October, I was on a high. I was like, I want to come back and win. I want to come back and win. I want to come back and win. You know what we fucking did? We went to Summer Shredding and we fucking won. The reason why I was so fucking emotional in that video is because through Beyond Built, this mission, through Megan, we were able to accomplish a goal that I always set out for myself when I started this journey. And I said that day, this win means more than it ever could mean for me personally. And I stand true to that. I'm at a place now to where genuinely I have achieved my dream physique. I have become the best version of myself in so many ways. And I want to be able to share that with the world. I want to be able to share that with people. And if I'm not feeling the best in my body, and if I'm not feeling my healthiest, that's just not congruent with the lifestyle I want to live and the lifestyle I want to portray and the example that I want to set for the world and the people that I want to help. And so as much as this is a hard decision, I feel like I'm letting go so much of my life. I feel like it's a very easy decision because I'm really stepping into a place where I'm congruent with the lifestyle I want to live, how I want to show up, how I want to feel on a day-to-day basis. And this is a very fucking real conversation. I'm not having this conversation to talk anybody out of going down this path and doing bodybuilding. This is my personal experience. This experience isn't going to be the same for everybody. It was mine. And I realized that it's too high of a cost to get to that level and achieve something if I'm not feeling fulfillment in the day-to-day process anymore. That's what's most important. That's what's most important. I find so much fulfillment in being able to create raw, like real fucking authentic content for you guys. And to be honest, I've been hiding this part of my life. I've been hiding the fact that I'm not feeling the best day to day. To me, it's just almost embarrassing because it just doesn't feel like how I want to feel. And so that's the decision that I've made. You know, I'm very much at peace with the decision. And to be honest, what this really brings to the channel and what this brings to my life is a lot more freedom. I get to feel good in my body and work towards feeling really, really good in my body. I get to stay in phenomenal shape all year round. and I'm excited for what this is really going to bring. And I think one of the hardest parts about this decision that I was hanging on to for so long is I was so fucking afraid to like tell you guys that I was doing this. I felt like I made such high commitments to myself to achieve a goal like this, and you know, worked so hard to create a bunch of content around this prep series and document it all with this goal in mind of going pro. And I was like so afraid to look like I was giving up. The last thing I'm fucking doing in the world is giving up. This is so much bigger than just me. This channel, this vision, everything is so much bigger than just me. I want to be able to help people achieve their dreams, achieve their goal of stepping on stage. That's what matters to me. I want to be able to help people do it. Right? I want to be able to show people that it doesn't have to be restrictive and it doesn't have to take away from your life. Just because I had this experience doesn't mean that you're going to have a similar experience like this, but there are some ramifications. Getting yourself to an unhealthy level of body fat over the course of 16, 20 weeks, it's not sustainable. It's hard on you. You'll learn a lot about yourself. It'll be one of the most challenging things you've ever done. There's a lot of beauty in that. Yet is that something that you need to do every single year to develop yourself? Can't you create that kind of development for yourself in other avenues? That's what I've realized for me. Personally, that's what I've realized for me. I'm not gonna look back and say that I made a single mistake. I'm gonna look back and say that I've learned so many lessons. And sure, I could say go back and like, oh, if I went back, I probably wouldn't have went on steroids. I'm like, no, I'm glad that I did, because I'm glad that I learned this lesson. I'm glad that I learned a lot about how my body works, how it responds to things. And I've ultimately realized that it just causes way too much stress on my body that isn't sustainable for me. And as much as you guys saw me and you're like, I want to look like that, you know, that's the physique I want, like behind the scenes for not only just me, I'm sure I can speak for a lot of other people, it's like that's kind of how you're feeling, you know? And so fitness for me is just so much more than just achieving a look. And if it is for you, that's totally okay. Fitness for me right now is gonna be about performance, peak health, feeling my best mentally, emotionally, physically, and seeing how that translates into a life of fucking freedom and a fucking dope-ass life. That's what this channel was really started for in the first place, is just showing that you guys can be in shape, stay in shape year-round, and live a fucking dope-ass life. And so, hell, I thought I was probably gonna fucking cry a shit ton on this video and stuff, but I'm just being honest with you guys, like this is scary shit. Like, you know, running gear and going down this path, it's something that you need supervision with. It's something that you need to take a high level of responsibility with. I've made mistakes with it personally. There's a reason why my estrogen has crashed. It's because, you know, one of the second cycles I ever done, I ran like 3 AIs at a time. I'm like, there's a lot of things that I could have done better that I can now take these lessons with me and help others with, and that's what's most important about this all. I'm glad that I learned it, and to be honest, I feel like I have so much more to give to what I want to give to, simply because I'm not doing something that's just taking away from my health and my well-being. And so that's something to understand, guys, and this is just real. Like, you see what you see on Instagram, you see what you see on YouTube, you see these physiques, you see these transformations.
Go ahead.
Oh my God. But like, this is real shit that kind of goes on behind the scenes sometimes. I'm sure I could speak for a lot of other people and their experiences with this, but this has been mine, and I just really wanted to share this because I was fucking terrified to, because I was afraid of what people were gonna think. Oh, Chad, you're a quitter. Oh, Chad, like, you're giving up. Like, oh, like, blah, 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 blah. Like, Chad hates bodybuilding. I don't. Like, I fucking love it. I have such a passion for this. And if there's anything that I've really been taught over the course of this journey, is I have a fucking passion for helping others do it. Helping others fucking live this life. Fucking like helping others achieve this dream. Just like this motherfucker. Hey, come here, dude.
What's up?
Just like this motherfucker. Come here. What up, bro? Look at you. Look at, see this guy? This fucking guy. I fucking love this
boy,
guy.
I love you.
I love you, bro.
We were so happy when we saw you.
Oh, dude, I fucking love you. You know what? I'm really happy to see you. Why I'm really happy to see you? Because I love being able to fucking help people like you.
Yeah?
Yeah, you're the reason I fucking live, dude. You're the reason I feel alive,
man,
bro.
It's obvious.
Yeah, I love you so much, bro.
I love you too.
I love you so much. I just told them some pretty crazy news that you don't even know.
No? You gonna tell me right now?
I'm done bodybuilding.
Are you serious?
I think the biggest takeaway from all this, guys, is like humans, we have a fucking need to be as consistent as possible with who we believe we are. And over the last couple of years, I've believed that I needed to set the standard, that I needed to set the example, that I needed to be the one that did it first for our clients to show them that they could do it. The reality is our clients are powerful enough as is to believe that they can do it themselves. And when I look at our group, Aaron, Joe, Megan, so many amazing athletes on this team have been able to accomplish things that I personally haven't been able to accomplish, that I got to help them with. And I've gotten to the point now to where I'm like, cool. Something that I've always lived on is that, and this is that says it, it's a scripture, I'm pretty sure it's, God doesn't call the qualified, he qualifies the called. And this is something that I genuinely feel called to do. It's in my heart. I know that I love this shit so fucking much. I know that I'm passionate about helping people so fucking much. And I know that I probably fucking love it more than anyone else in the goddamn world. And I believe that truly. And so we now have a community of clients who are going after these goals, who are leading each other, who are inspiring each other, who are setting these standards for each other. And that's on fucking community. It's because the reality is I can't do this alone. I got to do this together. I got to do this with our community. We got to do this as a team, as a family, and being able to let go of that identity and just say, oh, hey, it isn't just me. We can do this. You guys can do it. That's fucking everything. And so I'm so goddamn excited for what our team, our community all accomplishes. And I'm really fucking excited to be able to lead them through this and be able to give as much as I possibly can to them, really pour into them. And it's like I'm grateful for athletes like Aaron and just our whole team, because this is something that I brought to them a couple of weeks ago on a call, and I just was fucking crying on this call. Our whole team told me, hey Chad, like, it doesn't matter, like, we believe in you so much, like, if you took bodybuilding away for you, we fuck with you because of who you are. And it made me realize that, like, at my core, it's not about what I have, it's not about what I've done, it's not about what I look like. If I take all of that away, who the fuck am I? That's what matters. That's what matters. And I'm fucking proud as shit as the person that I am, and I feel genuinely, because of who I am, we as a community can accomplish whatever the fuck it is that we want to together. So, swag, bitch.
I hear you.